Hello there, Sye Rodriguez here. Today, I wanted to answer the question, is a vegan diet healthy? Now, I know to some people I'm going to be preaching to the choir, and if that's you, I understand if you want to tune out. On the other hand, there's a lot of different ways people have eaten vegan or vegetarian diets. So, you might want to hear what I have to say even if you are already a vegan. But I was just looking online and seeing some of the questions that people had about, is a vegan diet healthy? And some of the answers were pretty interesting, and even somebody said that a vegan diet can be healthy but it's boring. First of all, a vegan diet can be very healthy. I have been vegan now for a solid 2.5 years at least, meaning I've been vegan without stopping, without eating anything that wasn't vegan for the last 2.5 years solid. But before that, I was mostly a vegan, but I was also a vegetarian since 1996. So we're at 20 years right now. And I really was mostly a vegan during that time, but I had some belief that maybe it was healthful to have dairy products. So I was eating some cream here and there, and I was also drinking some milk here and there. And once in a while I was even having some organic cheese. So this was the extent of my outside of vegan as a vegetarian, and I also was eating a little bit of honey, and I'm not even eating any honey right now because I wanted to have the full experience of being vegan and just be able to see what it's like, what it did to my body, how it made me. And what I can say, over the last 20 years, my health has improved in numerous ways, and I've stayed healthy and fit. Not only has how I stayed healthy and fit, as I've learned more how to follow a high energy diet that I've kind of developed myself over the time, then I just feel good. And I really don't know. It's hard to say, does a person feel better as a vegan than as not a vegan? And I'd say in a number of ways, I could contrast and say, well, I never get acid reflux or acid indigestion, so that I could probably relate to a vegan diet. I generally just feel good, but it's hard to compare when it's been that long since you did something different. So does a person always feel better as a vegan? I don't know, but I know that you can be healthy, and I've done blood work, and all of my blood work came out good. I had all the nutrients I need, and ironically, I'm a person who doesn't supplement with any kind of regular full multivitamin up to this point. I've taken B12 for a good while in the form of methylcobalamin, and I've also taken vitamin D3 during the winter, and that's here in Colorado because we're a little bit north, and I wanted to make sure I'm covering my bases if I'm not getting enough sun. And I don't think it's a bad idea to have a little extra vitamin D3, and I'm having a vegan form of vitamin D3 just so you're aware. And there are D3 vegan vitamins now that you couldn't use. You used to only be able to get vitamin D2 in the vegan form, but you can now get D3 in vegan form as well. So what I'm trying to say here is that yes, you can be super healthy on a vegan diet, and not only can you be super healthy, it's far from boring. Since I became vegan, I opened up to lots more foods than I ate before, and not only did I open up to lots more foods, food tastes good. It's never boring to eat. And I have learned to eat simple, which is great. So I do eat simple a lot of the time just because it's convenient, and I'm doing it for my energy needs and just to get something in me. And so I'll eat very simple. At least a couple of my meals a day are usually pretty simple. And some people could say that's boring, but it doesn't taste boring. But I mean, generally, eating a vegan diet is far from boring. It's just as tasty as any other kind of diet that you could have, except for that you're not having any meat. Which is interesting that somebody would associate eating meat with not being boring, but eating vegan with being boring. I don't quite understand that, but I'd like to know if you're one of those people that feels that way. Then please share your comments below or around this video somewhere. So that being said too, there's a number of ways that you could eat a vegan diet. I recommend eating whole foods vegan for the most part. That doesn't mean you can never have anything refined, but whole foods generally, and or that you refine yourself, meaning if you make a smoothie in a blender, I guess that's refined to a degree, but it's a good refinement, and especially if you eat it right away, then you're going to get all the nutrients that you need to get from it. So also, I recommend eating lots of rice and potatoes, in spite of what a lot of people have said about rice and potatoes. And if you really do the research, you'll find out that potatoes are very healthful for you, and they don't raise your glycemic levels to a place where it's not good for you, even if you're prone to type 2 diabetes. There's a lot of actual information that you can find out regarding this, and you could start with the book, even though it's not a vegan book. You could start with the book Diet Cults, and you could get some information from this book about potatoes, for example. But also plenty of root vegetables, and plenty of fresh greens, lots of fruit, pretty much as you want to eat. And I always include beans of many kinds too. My favorites are garbanzos or chickpeas, lentils, pinto beans, kidney beans. Those are probably some of my favorites. And every once in a while I'll even have soybeans, which is not like a staple, but I do like soybeans. And guess what? Organic tofu is good too, and it's specifically better than non-organic tofu because most non-organic tofu is genetically modified and has higher levels of daidzein and one other kind of estrogenic compound in it. But you don't have to worry about that you just don't have to worry about that unless you're eating a totally processed diet that has like so many different kinds of soy in it. Meaning that it's processed to the degree that there's just soy in everything, because there's a lot of soy protein isolate and textured vegetable protein, which is probably mostly soy based, that might be genetically modified, and it's just in a lot of products in general. So probably the general population gets more soy than a lot of vegans and vegetarians do. But you don't have to worry about eating soy products. That is sort of a myth that has been widespread by the Weston A. Price Foundation, and specifically a woman named Sally Fallon, who, if you just go and look at her online, you'll find out she's not healthy at all, but she acts like she's healthy. And she also misquotes Weston Price, the dentist, who wrote a book called Nutrition and Physical Degeneration or something like that. She misquotes him, and she even perpetuates a false idea based upon his book. So I recommend reading that book for yourself as well. Now, just to be straight up, do I ever question, would it be more healthful to not be vegan? Of course. I think that it's healthful to question your position in life, but I feel good as a vegan. I wouldn't feel good to kill animals anymore. I would have to literally pretty much lose my mind or have some kind of a snap that would make me change my mind about that. And it's not that I'm putting people down who don't follow this way, because I really can't say, because I can't say that, for example, I know for 100% sure how life began. I can't say that I know for 100% sure that a vegan diet is more healthful than a non-vegan diet, but I can tell you that it's very healthy. So on that note, I'm just going to leave you. If you have any questions, please post them down in the comments section and share whatever thoughts you would like to share, because I'd love to hear them, negative, positive, whatever. Thanks for watching.